rock and roll is when you play it, or even when you listen to some albums or some, you just want to go. It's just primitive, man. It just needs to go out, and it's there in that moment, and you have to enjoy everything of it. It has to be wild. It has to be dirty. Like actually, we're on the day before the release of that single here, so it's pretty exciting actually to have all this going on. So a really cool Friday, a really good, cool weekend planned
I'm looking
for
forward
all
to
this
the
stuff.
single because just the stuff that I've listened to that you've released already, the Chiff Chaffs, it's got that perfect like psycho voodoo trash. Like there's something about Europeans that really know how to make that really psychotic like trashy rockabilly sound, and I love it.
Thanks, man. I think it's the cool thing about it, or the fun thing at least. It's very mix of a lot of different stuff. Like, okay, I have my psychobilly background and rockabilly, and so, but like the other three guys, they came from even synth punk, from power violence, and even like our organ player had a grindcore band in the 80s. So it's just a very big mashup. We're all fan of 60s music and so do and rock and roll, but it's just a mix of people together, I think.
Yeah,
That
sometimes it can be really tricky to find people that are like minded to actually make that kind of music because they have to have a genuine appreciation for the noise that comes with it. The fact that it's not going to be nice and clean and sparkling, it's going to have distortion, it's going to sound, dirty and rough around the edges. And I love the organ. The addition of the organ is just like the coolest thing.
yeah, it's really cool. Well, there's fun story actually because I first started with our drummer Jan because actually we wanted to make Exotica. I
I love.
had a band, yeah, a garage trash band, the Garbage Bags at the time, and I wanted to do something different actually. And it was COVID, so everything was locked down, and we were bored as fuck. So we decided, okay, yeah, let's jam, let's play, and I was rolling, and then Jan invited David, our bass player, to play along with us. Worked fine. Then we said like we need organ or saxophone or something, and we thought, okay, let's go for organ, but we don't know anybody here, anyone who played like that kind of stuff or knew about also how garage sounds or 60s stuff. And then we had a friend who actually has like this modular synth and he's like DJ, plays a lot of 60s stuff. And we asked him, Nolf is his name. And I asked him first, we know him, he's living here in close by, know him from the Pits, which is a really cool venue where the Mummies played in the 90s even and so. And I asked him, he said no. He said no. And then I said to our drummer, like, can you ask again? You know? And eventually he said yes. And he started from scratch. He didn't know anything. Uh, and so we had like a few rehearsals and it was pretty cool actually. And then he found this Elka organ uh, on a second-hand site here in Belgium. The thing is from 1967 and has been like for 30 years in a box. And it's really cool, old, weird, really cool machine. So yeah, there you go.
Does he play it through a Leslie?
No, he plays it through my old Fender Hot Rod DeVille, which is pretty aggressive for that.
Yeah, yeah,
For
yeah.
that
Because that's why I was curious. Because you could really hear the aggressive sound, and in there. The only thing it was
And
missing.
yeah, in the studio we recorded on an old Phelan, Japanese amp, I think Phelan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Um, because yeah, we first tried with the Fender too, but then it was clashing a bit with guitar sound. It was too similar, so we needed something else. But yeah, he has like this old Alka box, but yeah, no Leslie. We never tried it. I really would like to try it, but never try it.
It's cool. You get that kind of spinning sound that it's
Yeah, the rotary speaker thing.
nature's
Yeah,
tremolo.
it's exactly. Yeah, no, it's super. Yeah.
How long have you been a Gretsch player?
10. I have her for 10 years now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like the cheap Electromatic I got, but with time I changed the bridge and the pickups to TV Jones, and like I tried to reinstall new piece each time until I have like brand new guitar. I need to refret it also because she took some beatings, but well, she still plays, and I love to play with that Gretsch. Actually, love the sound.
Yeah, I can see where you said that she takes a beating. One of the things that you guys do on stage is not stand there. I love watching you guys perform because it's wild. It's
It's rock and roll, no?
yeah,
I
exactly.
think, I
Like
think the cool thing about rock and roll is when you play it, or even when you listen to some albums or some, you just want to go. It's just primitive, man. It just needs to go out, and it's there at that moment, and you have to enjoy everything of it. It has to be wild. It has to be dirty. Like, yeah, it's just made for that to go to let out every primitive urge in your body to explode. It's perfect chance you got there to go completely nuts in which way you want. Come on, there's no rules. So yeah.
what was the first kind of stuff that like you started playing and then you put this band together? I know that probably throughout time you've been in several bands, but when you very first picked up the guitar, what was the main inspiration?
Uh, when I got well, first I was massively into rockabilly and punk in my early 20s, and suddenly I bought that Grudge then, like when I was 21 or something. Um, and a year later, a friend of me asked to uh, play in a psychobilly band, Adios Pantalones.
Mm-hmm.
He would quit guitar for some reason, and he asked if I want to step in for him. But I could not play at all, or not good. I knew my chords and so, but it was all really. I liked psychobilly. I listened to it, so it was like really cool experience, and I learned a lot from that to start with, but in a really primitive way. And I still keep my playing really basic, I think. But it all started with then, yeah, playing like this old school psychobilly uh, kind of thingy with that band.
That's badass. Not a
And I
whole.
did that for 6 years, I think, until the band quit it, or 7, 8. I don't know anymore.
That's badass. Not a lot of people that very first pick up the instrument still end up playing exactly what they very first started because they've gone through so many different bands and they get all these different influences and stuff. It's kind of cool that as soon as you picked it up, like the only thing that came out was just primal rock and roll, and you can really hear it in the music.
Yeah, but that's also like the perfect thing to do it. It's like, yeah, I don't think I know any other way to play. I think I think that's it. It's just my body telling me that. I would like to play more technical or something, and I learned my scales along the way, or this or that, like little stuff. But yeah, never majorly like. Yeah, no, it just have it's feeling. It's all feeling, in fact.
Yeah, it's like once you discover just a few a few scales that you can make sure are going to be your safety net, then when the time comes for you to take a lead,
Exactly.
you
It's
can
like
just
your
chase the
pentatonics
fever,
and Fusion and whatnot. Uh, yeah, for me it works as long as I can come up with new songs or new ideas, or I have stuff like, this sounds cool, or I can do this. It's fine, you know. I just want to use it as a function to make new music more than anything else.
I love Psychobilly. It's fast. It's like just as fast as punk, and especially when you're playing
It
upright. When you're playing an upright bass,
is.
you get to try to keep up with the kick drum. It's always a super super fun time. It's really cool that I suppose the only music you've really played is Psychobilly, and it's truly
Yeah, it's like
it's
and
truly
garage.
authentic because I can hear it in your music. There's no we tried to smooth it out a little bit here, bringing in different influences and stuff. But no, it's mostly like if you open a trash can lid, you're gonna find the music in there. I love it.
Pretty much. No, yeah, but the influences changed though, because I still listen to Psycho, but I'm the cool thing about that I found about, if I think about it, last years, is just like how much fucking rock and roll there actually is, even in the 50s, 60s, 70s, late 70s, and 80s, even to 90s. It's crazy. It's really crazy. All this different stuff, all this really obscure rockabilly, like really dirty 90s, 60s, and 50s. It's badass. It's really cruel. And then you have these mid 60s crazy punk bands, in fact, like Los Psychos and obviously Sonics and all these one hit wonders that's on the back from the grave albums and pebbles. It's just fucking amazing. It's, yeah, I just love it. And I think that's just a really big inspiration and motivation just to do something that's like the same, just just go for it.
Yeah, it's like not really worrying about the technical wizardry of it, but instead just making straight up primal rock and roll. And like I said, you can really hear it in your music. You're not really at all trying to make sure that delicate
Yeah.
ears aren't offended. And I don't mean not just like by lyrics, I just mean by sound.
No, 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 no.
Although I absolutely I love your antithesis of a love ballad. Your more murder ballad with the blood on the bed. That's that's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know where I got those lyrics, in fact, but yeah, the most, if I saw, as we went to record new stuff in Toulouse in the south of France last month, and I just had like there's like one song or bass player sings. He also sings a few songs on the other songs, and I checked my lyrics, man. It's like shit. Maybe I have a problem. Maybe,
Well, I
maybe
can't
not.
I can't tell you how many
No,
songs
it's
true
just
crime has inspired. So you're not alone.
nah. Love is just such a subject that you know it's easy. There's so much involved into it. Like now we recorded a song called Burn Me One Last Time," and that's more like, oh, yeah, no, it's also wild actually. I thought, oh, that's one of the most normal. It's about urges, or pain, or yeah, finding your girlfriend with another guy, and you kill him with a kitchen knife
It's
in your
not
bed.
not an uncommon theme in psychobilly music. So I appreciate it. Just keeping the horror alive. but still also making original songs. I imagine that when you play live, you do some covers and stuff, but you make quite a bit of original
We
music.
have
Tell me
one
about.
cover. We mostly play actually our own songs because we're planning to do like we had some ideas for other cover, but we only do the cover of the Fly from the Mummies. Uh, and beside that, it's like all own songs. What we did now because we're gonna do so we made new recordings last month, and we decided to have a seven. Well, we wanted a 7 minute song because Darren from Trashwax like suggested that like I recorded the song at home, but completely based on the Sleepy Hollow from the last word. I don't know if you know it, probably. And it's like this really slow. And I wrote new lyrics on it, but with the same kind of theme. And Darren said you have to make a 7 minute song about this. So I suggested to the guys, and after a bit, we finally did it. And now we came out with like something that lasts 9 minutes with outro and everything. But the changes, it goes from really like this kind of vibes, slow, doomy, creepy kind of stuff to really fast, almost meteors kind of thing. So it's just, I like to mix stuff up. And also, I think it's a cool thing to use stuff that's already long gone, like something like Last Word, and blow new life into it. The Cramps did the same with so much songs, and they made it so cool.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why shouldn't we do stuff like that? Why shouldn't we like honor old bands and old musicians and old songs and bring them into new lives so new generation of people get in touch with this kind of stuff, you know? Otherwise there will be nothing left
Well,
somehow.
there's something about being ambassadors of past music. I've had several guests on here that I could easily describe as ambassadors of past music. But being able to not only throw your own spin on there, obviously makes it yours when you're writing original material, but also it is really, really nice just to know that there's more like original material that has that I suppose that level of like no better word for it, the garage trash, because a lot of people can't pull that off because that's music that it comes from here, you know what I mean? There's no faking playing that stuff. The end of that song, You Have the Fly, is just absolute chaos, and it really, really is dedication to being like, no, this is what we do, and either you like it or go listen to somebody else.
Yeah, sometimes people say we play too loud and they run off. It's every fucking gig, man. Every fucking gig. Yeah, we liked it, but it was really loud. Yeah, come on. You're going to a rock and roll gig. It should be loud. It should be like something in your face. But well, yeah, and for sure, like The Fly is chaotic. And for sure, that ending, and I mean that's also why we put it on the end of our set every time because it's perfect way to end the show, in our opinion. And it's like the last bit of everything in you, even if you're tired or fucking messed up or
Yeah. You can leave it
it's
all.
just like
Yeah, totally.
yeah. And after it's just like 5 minutes after that. And, yeah, I think catching breath. It's just fun to do to just throw your guitar on the stage or yeah, roll on the floor, do stuff, like a little. It's just like being able to be a little kid somehow.
Right.
It's fun.
I,
It's just
I could see how
innocent
that part of
fun.
the song would allow for that, where it, it doesn't matter how the whole show went. By the time that you get to that song at the end, you can just leave it all on stage and be like, "Hey, if that wasn't good enough for you, then I don't know what to say."
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, people can like it or people, but yeah, most of the time we had good remarks. So happy about that. I'm really happy about that. And it's just like we want to have fun with four of us and do our thing. And yeah, go wild. That's why we're in the rock and roll man to go to do that. It's super far from our original idea to have like Exotica band, which I still like. I still like that idea, but this is yeah, this is just what I love to do. This band.
Oh,
And I think I can speak for the four of us. It's bold, but I can.
I think the two of them make a great combination if you're playing in one kind of band and the other, because both Exotica and rock and roll is amazing. My wife and I are huge Exotica fans. You can see the Les Baxter record right there.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I think that it might actually kind of feed like both parts of your personality, because you can kind of get that really lush sound going, maybe a little bit of precision, and then when you decide you want to just throw all that away, you can put the Gretsch on and crank it up and do your thing.
Exactly. But that's also the reason why it's not 50-50 anymore. We first had the idea to do like all our songs like 50-50, 50% instrumentals and 50 with vocals. But yeah, we still make new instrumentals, and I really want to keep it in our band too. And everyone, I think it's important, and it gives a good balance in between in a set or album or whatever. Um, because yeah, some people say we're a little surf, and yeah, at some level yes, but I see it as way more just like it's as those instro tracks as just like that instrumental rock and roll, more than just like into surf. So
Yeah, it's not just straight surf. It's like actual, instrumentals with melodies and things. Yeah, I totally dig what you guys got going on. Tell me about this new single you got happening. Is there any spoilers you can give away?
this one.
Oh, that one. Nice.
Yes. Well, they're already, so people can already order them from Trashwax and Hyperloop since 2 weeks ago, I think. So some people already have them, and tomorrow we're gonna release this in the theater, um, accompanied with two animation clips we made, animated video clips. Uh, well, actually, it's with two songs that's also appearing on the album. Um, and somewhere last year, I don't know when anymore, but I had a phone call from Darren from Trashwax to say like, "Hey guy, there's someone who would be interested in releasing two tracks on his label." I said, "Huh?" And so yeah, it's Glyn from Hyperloop, and I checked. I didn't know, but I had some singles of Hyperloop already. Normally, he releases super cool 60s songs, like The Quest of Art Guy, Where You Gonna Go? Um, so it was felt kind of special that he wanted to have two tracks of a new band, because I thought he only did like reissues of songs from the 60s. So yeah, we agreed to do that, and I had a really great time to work with Glyn together. Actually, we had a lot of communication all the time, um, and I said to him like, "Yeah, I'm busy on an animated video too, and our bass player gonna make an animated video clip too." And he was like, "Wow, we have to do something more with it." So he just every few days I would get like a message from him like, oh yeah, maybe we can put this in it or we can put that in it. And so we have like these 3D cards,
Oh, cool.
3D cards with those glasses. They're there. But, with stills from the actual video clip. So that's
Oh,
really
that's really,
cool.
really badass, especially because it comes with 3D glasses too.
Yeah. And there's one version who comes with an animation flipbook with a little 5 second animation loop I made. That's in the clip too. And he made a very, very, very limited amount of those. But yeah, we're really happy with this. I'm super thankful to Glyn and also to Darren to introduce me to Glyn. And just it went so smooth, everything's so smooth. He sent me pictures and every sleeve is like handmade, like he glued it all by hand, 350 copies. It's like insane.
Okay, cool.
It's really cool. Yeah, super happy that we could work together with Glyn from Hyperloop. But so smooth, so amazing. So yeah, tomorrow is a big release, and we're gonna see the animation on big screen. And after the two clips are gonna be shown, we're gonna play there. We're gonna have an hour of visuals on the big screen. I made a lot of trippy, weird ass, hypnotic stuff, and that's gonna be shown while we do the gig.
Ah,
So
it's
it's
so
gonna be
lame.
something.
Why do I have to be so far away? I want to go to that. That sounds really great.
You're welcome. And yeah, we asked some camera guys to film it. So normally, if
Cool.
everything goes right and we don't fuck it up, yeah, we're gonna do something with that too. So yeah, because it's something special. Also, thanks to our drummer, it was actually his idea. He said, "You know what? For the release, I'm gonna ask to do it in the local theater." I was like, we were like, okay, super cool, but will that work? You know, because it's big. It's big. It's still small, but it's kind of special, you know. But as a surprise, they said yes, let's do it.
That's
And so
great.
it's crazy actually because when I was in university or college, whatever, I studied animation film, and I remember when I was starting to play music also in a band, I made a whole my end movie to graduate was about Psychobilly, a 7 minute animated film.
Mm-hmm.
And back in 2016 or 15, I saw that on the big screen uh, in Ghent, where I studied. So it's since then that I didn't saw like animation of me on big screen, and we went to check it out last week, I think,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And really, the feeling I got when I saw the work I did for like over a year almost just end up on the big screen, I was fucking melting in that chair, man. It was just like, I want to die.
Dude, that's super
Somebody
cool.
shoot me.
What got you into doing animation and pursuing that?
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, my normal job. I often work for a production house that makes audiovisual material for museums and visitor centers and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So I had the chance to do some animation for that, some really cool, even Monty Python kind of stuff. So really
Like
cool stuff.
like Terry Gilliam inspired stuff?
Yes,
Cool.
yes,
That's real cool.
yes, of course. Yeah, that and just the whole Monty Python humor. It's just a big, big influence and for me.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Not only for me.
Those guys are just geniuses. British humor in general is, I don't
It's
know.
just fucking perfect. The absurdity and the surrealism and the timing
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and the settings and just it's just
Well, like
it's crazy.
Monty Python gave us silly, and I think that silly is a very important development that came to comedy because there was slapstick and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There was always body humor, double entendres and things like that. But then when Monty Python came along, it was like silliness for no reason. They're like, we had this idea for a dead parrot being sold, and now we have a legendary piece of comedy that nobody will ever forget.
This bad is the Zix.
It wouldn't boom if you put 4,000 volts to it.
Oh, it cannot be more perfect than that. Come on. This is like, yeah, top of humor, somebody, somewhere. 1969 or 1971. It's crazy. For that time, it's just absurd. It's silly.
I mean, they were putting out amazing movies too. I mean, Life of Brian is one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's perfect. We have this running joke in the band also with the whole biggest dickus thing. I have a wife, If the guys is gonna see this, I know they're gonna be laughing.
Oh yeah,
But,
if anyone's ever seen Life of Brian, they should run right out and watch it.
This is like we have a few running jokes in the band, and that for sure is one.
I mean, they were tried to get canceled by the American religious establishment when they came out, being like, "Don't go see this movie; it's blasphemous." And of course, it just made everybody want to go see it that much more.
It's always a really great idea to say, people, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't see that.
Well, why
it's
not?
Like you say to kids, don't look in the drawer, the cookies are there. Don't look.
Yeah. Don't smoke this or you'll get high.
What? High?
I saw a picture of it once.
No, the horror.
The first time I saw the Biggest Dickus sketch, I was a kid, and I was watching Monty Python's Life of Brian with my father, and he was just watching it, and he didn't know that I was paying attention. He heard me start chuckling. He starts chuckling, then I start, and it was like a serious bonding moment. I'll never forget that. And then once I got just a little older and was able to really understand all the jokes, especially the ones that had actual biblical ties, and then like later on, the ties of being like, you should just kind of think for yourself and not follow one person. Oh, just.
Perfect how they play with those ideas. And it's really still refreshing and still very, very relevant in these times.
Yeah. You can either follow the shoe or the gourd. It's up to you.
Completely.
Well, man, if you have any plugs or websites, now's the time to get them in there.
We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Bandcamp, and Spotify, and that kind of stuff. But that's basically it, I think. I also have my personal one with my artwork and so too. But beside that.
Right on. Well, thank you so much, Gilles, for coming on. Like, it's been an absolute pleasure. We're gonna have to definitely hook up in Belgium and make some noise.
Are you sure gonna do that?
Or if you're in Germany.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
that's a great idea. Yeah, we're sure gonna hook up. Gonna have some beers.
Well, we're
And
not
some
too far
loud,
away from
loud,
each other.
loud, godforsaken rock and roll.
Loud as it gets.
Just like Biggest would do.
Loud as it gets, and
As loud as it gets. Very true.
Let's see if we can get thrown into the same jail cell for noise together. Let's see if we can do that.
I think we can pull that off. If we pull a few strings, we can pull that off.
Lofty goals. Lofty goals. All right, man. Yeah. I'll catch you around.
Okay, catch you later, man. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, you. Thank you.
Okay. Cheers.
All right. That'll be all for today. Remember, peace, love throughout the world, and don't forget to rock and roll.